Yeah, it's about that time to light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. What's up, everybody? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and if you don't know what's going on, well, shame on you, but welcome anyway. It's Michael Myers Monday Live, our weekly hangout, our chat fest, our geek out session, our just general good time that we have kicking back after a long day of work, in some cases a long week of work. And like I always say to our returning friends, what's up, guys? Happy Michael Myers Monday. If you're new here, welcome, and to all returning friends, what's up? I see a lot of returning friends already lighting it up in the live chat here this evening. This is going to be a fun one tonight. I can tell you guys are in a great mood. I'm in a great mood. I'm happy to see all you guys. Like I always say, though, it's Monday, so that in itself is real reason to celebrate because we made it through another week. We made it through another Monday, and we're here. We're together. We're breathing. We're alive. We're awake. So let's enjoy it. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. We don't have a ton of breaking news tonight. We don't really have any breaking news, so to speak, but we do have a few little news bites that I'm going to hand out for you guys in your trick-or-treat bag that you can chew on this evening. And, of course, we're going to do some poll results and launch a new poll and shout-outs and all that good stuff. And maybe a little fun flashback to yesteryear as we're counting down to 45 years of terror. But right now, I'm going to slow down, take a breath, take a drink, and turn over here to see our friends hanging out in the live chat. I see a lot of you have checked in. I appreciate the love on the intro music. I love it. Let's see, scrolling back up, I see Lurch in the house, one of our channel members. Want to remind everybody, for just $5 a month, you too can have your name highlighted and all those custom emojis that you see our friends like Lurch and Andromeda using. They are illustrious channel members. Brett Patrick, another illustrious channel member, has checked in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to see everybody. I see Sammy is in here. Of course, Teen Wolf has checked in. Awesome. Did I get a haircut? Yes. Yes. No need to adjust your computer screen. It's not malfunctioning. You're not seeing things. It's not your first drink kicking in too early. Yes, I did have to cut my hair. This is like in my head. I don't know if you guys are like this. Probably not, but in my head, this is like kind of how I always look. And then I take 5 seconds and glance in a mirror, and it's like, holy shit, I guess I need a haircut. So this is my presenting look, so to speak. It doesn't last very long because, hair grows, and I can't get a haircut every week. But thank you. Let's see, who else is in here? Matt Tella, welcome. Thank you for hanging out. Sammy, of course. I think Mike Johnston is in here as well. Yes. Man, lots of friends. Phil has checked in. Awesome. I'm going to scroll up real quick and try to see. Byron is here, of course. Wouldn't be Monday without you. Thank you for being here, Byron. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I love the conversation you guys had going earlier about some of your favorite quotes from the Halloween films. That's always a fun conversation to have. I love seeing our channel members using their custom emojis. We might have to do some updating on a little bit of that. Let's see, who else is in here? Of course, Megan checked in. I think she was the first one in the live chat. So here's to you, Megan. Thanks for joining us as always. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Let's see who else has checked in this evening. Darlene is in the house as well. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you as well. Dreek Clock is here. Lurch, Teen Wolf, awesome. Great to see all you guys, and I'm sure a few others might find their way in as we're going. Who's that? First time hopping in, gotta be Zach C. What's up? All right, well, welcome. You know we love some new blood up in Michael Myers Monday. So welcome. Thanks for checking in. More drinks for all. Hell yes, Sandy, you're buying, right? All right, for this week's show and tell real quick, I don't have anything in hand. It's just real quick. I want to tell you guys, you might have seen the post that I kind of pinned up top But we are running a promotion this month, a Spring Scream sale on our HDN merch that we sell through the spring. Formerly it was Teespring, now it's Spring. In any case, you can get 25% off all of our spring merch right now using the promo code that I pinned at the top of the live chat. That promo code is Friends and Fans 25, and it's friends and then the and symbol and then the word fans 25, all as one word. You can just click that pinned post, and this is one of our latest designs we launched last week. You might have seen we were showing it off on Instagram and on our social media accounts. I don't have one in hand yet, or it would be probably this week's show and tell. Not Myers exclusive, of course, but living the Halloween daily lifestyle, as many of you guys do. And, I guess the Myers version might be that I'd rather be carving something else other than pumpkins, maybe. Babysitters might be the Myers version. Maybe we'll have to do a Myers version. You guys tell me what you think. I'd rather be carving babysitters. That might have to be the Triple M exclusive version that we do. But that's one of our new designs that are available at the link that I pinned in the live chat. And you can also click on any of the product links down below near where the comments are below this video. Another one of our brand new designs that is very similar template, but different wording for our animatronics fans out there. All my friends are animatronics. That's another brand new HDN 2023 t-shirt design. Let me know what you think about these. And again, you're the first to know about that promo code. I will post it in the live chat again, just so you've got the exact way to spell it out. But it is 25% off, and it's not limited to tonight. You've got a few weeks. It's going to be good until April 17th. So I will remind you guys a couple times, and we are going to be going public with that promotion starting tomorrow. But, I want to let you guys know first because it's Monday night. You guys are the Triple M faithful, so you get first dibs on all that stuff. But I want to do some, not infringing on anybody's copyright type of Triple M t-shirt wording, something that you guys would relate to and that we could all enjoy wearing out in public and professing our Triple M love. So give me your ideas on something we could do for a future t-shirt, and who knows, maybe we'll use your design or use your idea. All right, let me turn back over here for just a minute. Teen Wolf says, been obsessed with Clown Springtrap lately. That new shirt is calling her out. I love it. That is great. Yeah, well, there you go. 25% off. And again, you guys know about it first. And those are brand new designs. I don't even have my own yet. Lurch in the hair. In my hair. You keep your hair buzzed off as well. Hell yes. Need some H45 goodness. Tim Leo has checked in as well with some jack-o'-lanterns. I love it. What's up, Tim? Smile Michael loves you on a tee. That's an idea, Andromeda. That's an idea. Hashtag Triple M or something like that. All right. Real quick, did you guys get a chance to check out my latest exclusive interview? We previewed it last week. Of course, it's Dag Ferrick, who you guys all know well as Michael at age 10 in Rob Zombie's Halloween 07. We previewed an exclusive clip from the interview last week where Dave was talking about the point in his life when he got the audition for what would be Rob's Halloween. And just like when we talked to Scout, they both, in both cases, did not know that it was going to be a remake of Halloween It was the Rob Zombie Halloween project, which makes sense on a lot of levels. It was also interesting, and you saw in that clip and in the full interview, which dropped on Wednesday of last week. You saw that Daig talks about going to that audition, and it only took one audition, but I found it interesting that even though he didn't know that he was there for Michael Myers, all of the other young kids, the young boys that were there auditioning for this role, they all had a very different look than Daig's look. He says that they were all short and had short, dark hair. And of course, he was taller, had long blonde hair, and Rob didn't need to see him a second time before they found out that he had the role. And it came at a very pivotal time in his life, right as he and his mom were thinking about kind of hanging it up in Hollywood and going back to Canada. But then this role of Michael Myers changed his life and their life. We talked about what it was like to kill a spy kid, because while he, at age 11 at the time, he wasn't very familiar with Michael Myers and the Halloween movies, he did know the Spy Kids movies, which is understandable, and so he totally recognized and knew that he was killing a spy kid. I also loved his story. Since the franchise, more recently, he appeared on the HBO series Euphoria, and he talked about his first day on set there. The artist, The Weeknd, was there and actually recognized him. And they had some interaction, and he was blown away that The Weeknd, somebody on The Weeknd's level, recognized him. And I'm sure you're like me. As soon as you hear that, you're like, damn right. Weeknd's a Halloween fan, just like we knew he was. All those masks he's always wearing. Yeah, he's got plenty of love for Michael Myers, I think, too. In any case, you can check out that interview elsewhere on this YouTube channel. I've got the direct link in the description of this live stream. You can also find it anytime at HalloweenDailyNews.com under the interviews tab. I urge you to check it out. It was a blast talking to Daig. We've kind of communicated off and on through social media here and there over the years. We talk about in the interview that 5 years ago, he was a guest at the 2018 40 Years of Terror. We were there covering the event, and still weren't able to connect because it just gets so crazy, and we just could not connect and have face-to-face time with every single guest that we wanted to. So this was a bit of a long time coming. So check that out if you haven't already. And if you have, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, what you thought of the interview. Let me hear from you in the live chat and in the comments below. That's what I'm saying, Andromeda. Michael Myers changes lives for the better. That's right. And it's not the first time we've heard that in one of these interviews, honestly, where this franchise has come along right at a pivotal time for some of these people. A pivotal time in their own life, whether it was for personal reasons or professional reasons or a combination of both. And like you said, the franchise, Michael Myers, for lack of a better term, saving people's lives, putting them on a better place. Patrick Ring, that Halloween movie collector, has checked in, another illustrious channel member in the house. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I love to see it. Again, if you're interested in becoming a channel member, it's just $5 a month. We're going to start doing some cool members-only events once we get just a handful more. So come join the party. Great to see everybody in here. Lurch Dig is Kid Mikey. He had a very unique look. Absolutely. And of course, Rob's going to go for the more unique look, as he did with everything in that film. Mike Johnston watched it, liked Daig's advice, where he says, don't ever say no to yourself. When there will always be others saying no to you, say yes to yourself, which is the only way we will make it. That's right. That's right. He has some great inspiring words out to all of you out there, to myself, to all of us, and he says, "Don't stop, too. Don't stop." And that's the lesson he learned from that. And he's collaborated with some of his favorite rappers now, and now some hardcore metal bands, and it's things are happening for him. So check out that interview if you haven't already. All right. Now you might have seen some of this uh, in the last week, but of course we have to talk about it because this came out since our last gathering. Let me pull it up here. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about Halloween Ends right now because Danny McBride did a recent interview that was published since our last live stream on March 27th, and it's an exclusive to Us Weekly, and we'll go over here for a minute. And in this interview, you see the headline here in this portion of the interview. Danny McBride reacts to Halloween Ends critics wanting more Michael Myers, and that's a little bit of a simplification. I mean, he actually talks quite a bit about Halloween Ends, and we're going to break down those quotes right now for you. There are some very interesting um, tidbits to chew on, so to speak. So let me pull this up, and we are going to take a look at some of his quotes in this interview with Us Weekly. And he actually comments quite a bit on the film, and this is kind of the first time we've heard McBride talk on the record about it. He talks about uh, specifically, as that headline alludes to, some of the more controversial takes in the film, including the introduction of the Corey Cunningham character and Michael Myers getting less physical screen time than some fans may have anticipated or wanted. So, in the first part of this interview, McBride says, quote, "I'm a massive Halloween fan as well, so you just want to give something that would make the fans excited and not make the fans angry with you. It was fun to try to pull that off for better or worse, and to get to meet John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. It was kind of surreal to be participating in furthering that story. It was awesome." End quote. Now, again, not wanting to make the fans angry. I mean, clearly they realized. I think they probably realized, though, honestly, going back to 2018, that you know what, you're going to make some fans angry no matter what decisions you make. So you've got to make some decisions and just run with it. That is interesting that that he comments on that. Now, in this next section, they go in a little bit deeper, specifically discussing the introduction of Rowan Campbell's character, Corey Cunningham. The much debated Corey Cunningham character, who I have said I love this character. The more I watch the movie, the more I think about it. I think, and I said in my initial review of the film, and I stand by it, that Corey, he's going to stand the test of time and be one of those characters that fans are very fond of and root for in the years to come, I believe, much like Jamie Lloyd. But here's what McBride says in this interview, specifically about how in this final installment of David Gordon Green's version of the story, in any case, Corey Cunningham becomes the main villain over Michael Myers, which obviously didn't sit well with all audience members. So here's what Danny McBride says. He tells Us Weekly, quote, "I think that is valid criticism. All three of these movies was really David Green's sort of brainchild. He had a very distinct idea
of what he wanted to do with this. And I just felt lucky that he brought me along for the ride to help him where I could and try to give him anything I could on it. And when he told me his pitch for focusing on this Corey character, I thought that was cool. I thought it was a smart take on it. I thought that was a way to avoid repetition and sort of explore something a little different and still tying it into what Halloween's ultimately about. Now, this interview goes on, and McBride comments a little bit about the finale, and he says that there are, quote, a lot, his words, of final scenes, plural, that didn't make the cut. Now, we know there was the scene that we see in the theatrical release, the procession and all. We've heard from numerous interviews that we've done here on HDM that was shot during the additional filming portion of production. And who knows when we will see the originally shot ending, or any other scripted or considered endings might never see the light of day. But he does add this quote about that subject. He says, quote, "There's always alternate endings. We will shoot stuff and then shoot something different. There's definitely, things definitely tend to change a little bit. But I think overall this one landed where it was anticipated," end quote. And then his final quote in this interview on this subject of Halloween ends, David Gordon Green says, quote, "I feel like we had a blast creating this and making this, and it kind of feels like we have put our thumbprint on it. And I think, I mean, never say never, but I would be interested to see what else is out there, what else somebody can do with this," end quote. So a bit of a um, if not exactly tagging out, but an acknowledgement of what we've heard Jason Blum say, and what we just, as fans of this franchise and watchers of this franchise, connoisseurs of this crazy multiversal franchise, know well, that yes, it is now most likely time for some new blood to come in, some new creative blood behind the scenes to come in and relaunch this some way. That's not to say that Halloween Ends doesn't leave it wide open for this story to continue, should they want to. That's a whole another discussion, and you're welcome to chime in on that. But I would love to hear your thoughts. Again, lots to chew on here, lots of interesting quotes, and not the least of which is he does make sure to cover his bases and say the words "never say never." So, can we see the petition for the let's get more of Allison's story, where she goes after Haddonfield's story? What Laurie's, is she going to put that mask away, or just keep it sitting there on the table in the center of the living room forever? Like we as collectors would probably keep it keep it on display. But let me hear what you think about all of these quotes and these new comments from Danny McBride, who, of course, is credited as the co-writer of all three of the most recent David Gordon Green directed Halloween films. I'd love to hear what you think right now in the comments below if you're watching this on a replay, and right here, of course, in the live chat tonight. Let's talk about these comments from Danny and see what you guys think. Um, Teen Wolf definitely hopes Rowan comes back to the franchise, maybe as Steven grown up and being very much his father's son. Very interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's arguably wide open for that story to continue. I don't think they will. I mean, but let's just for for the sake of Michael Myers discussion here on Michael Myers Monday with Triple M faithful, let's just explore that never say never for a minute. If they were to come back, because I think that would be the whole key: is love them or hate them, it would have to be that same creative team behind the scenes. Even for Andy, probably to say yes. I think Jamie, it goes without saying, she said her goodbye and she's done. But we could, leave Haddonfield. Allison's still very much alive, and they did have that one night of passion that Laurie watched Allison lead Corey up the stairs, very much like Michael many years prior watched his sister lead her boyfriend up another set of stairs. And they did have their very steamy one night love affair that we know of, at least that one time where they consummated their relationship, we can assume. And so, there is possibilities there of like some kind of, evil transference, evil seed of Michael Myers. Can we see that happening, right? Um, and they say at the end of Kills, Laurie says, and she says it even more clearly in her book, and it ends that evil doesn't die; it just changes shape. And the curse of Michael Myers is what it does to other people. So there you go on that. But you guys tell me what you think. I appreciate those comments, and I appreciate him being honest. And yeah, I mean, he says, as James Jude Courtney himself told me when I talked to him in October, that yeah, I mean, it's valid criticism. I mean, they knew they were gonna piss some people off. Jamie Lee Curtis said it more than a year before the film was released that it would piss some people off. But I think where I stand, and I think where most of our viewers here, our regular Triple M viewers, stand, you guys are going to agree with me most likely that you're missing a lot of what makes that movie really cool and really great. And yes, really unique. It is unique for this franchise, but it's a really special film in this franchise. Kind of like how Season of the Witch is a really special film in this franchise. So when I see some posts say, "Oh, David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, they were just more or less trolling fans, like purposely trying to piss fans off with their decision making." I just can't think that is the truth personally, because you look at the three films, and with 2018 they literally listened to the fans' complaints about the Rob Zombie films, which were "it ain't John Carpenter," and they did their best to instill everything we love about the John Carpenter version of Michael from H1 and H2 into H 2018. And then they listened and they said, "We love it, but we want to see brutal Michael and Kills," and they gave that in Kills. And then in Ends, as they've all said, it's the David Gordon Green film of that trilogy. It's the one where they really kind of made it their own, and went a different route. But it's always going to be one of those that we're going to talk about forever, and certain people are never going to like, and that's fine. And but it's always going to be a debated and discussed film in this franchise. Um, so the more we have to chew on from the creative team, the better. I mean, I love um, that commentary with David Gordon Green. I'm very thankful for that, and that fills in a few creative blanks for me as well, just listening to that. My interview with Paul Brad Logan, another one of the film's co-writers, who also wrote the novelization. No, I'm not done reading it yet. We'll talk about it when I am getting closer. But in any case, that interview as well helped me um, fill in some of the creative blanks. And the novelization itself, of course, goes a long way in that and really improving everything we see on screen, because you get so much more backstory on what's been happening in the years since the events of 2018 and Kills. So, anyway, let me hear what you guys think, and then we're going to move on to our next topic this evening. Well, it's the same topic. It's always one topic here on Monday nights, but our next news item. Mike, like the lighting, yeah. This shot when they're hanging out on top of the radio tower. yeah, we got a comment on one of our older videos about the radio tower that, oh, all the talk about the radio tower and it didn't play any importance in the film at all. And I did kind of have to comment back and just clarify that, well, it actually did play some fairly important significance in the film when you consider it was Corey's special place. It's in this scene, it's where they kind of declare their love for each other, and their fate is somewhat sealed, so to speak, as a result. And it's also where the DJ, and again, this is much more present and uh, mentioned in the novelization, but it is there in the film very clearly in those early scenes that the DJ is spreading much of the Michael Myers lore and various, what we would call various timelines, various choose your own adventure options. Um, in this film, they're presented as various theories, conspiracy theories, maybe fan fiction theories almost, and the DJ Willie the Kid is presenting that, and in essence keeping Michael more alive and more present than ever. So that's another ironic thing about the film, if you ask me, is that while yes, Michael James Jude Courtney is on screen less as Michael than he is in the previous two films, that's absolutely true, and we do have another character, Corey, now on screen in the whole Michael outfit, basically doing his best to mimic Michael in his own way. While we do have all of that, but that's not Michael, and that's not Michael's physical presence, but his non-physical presence, his overall evil presence, which is what Loomis always talked about, and is what made him present in the '78 film. Just with Loomis talking about him when he would describe how he was pure evil. Now that is more present than ever in Anne's. And that's another irony of that argument of, oh, I don't like it because there's so little Michael. Well, in a sense, yes, but in another sense, in a, I'd say, more unique, inventive, fresh sense, this is exploring things that the franchise has always hinted at, that the shape is something bigger, some part of some larger evil than just one psychopath or one um, crazy person in a mask. It's much bigger than that, and how much of that is connected to the mask. It's even not spelled out and maybe not meant to be taken literally, but it is there. I mean, if you look at those films, the power of the mask is something you could argue is very much what draws the killings out in this film. I mean, you could argue that Michael was content at Smith's Grove until one day in 2018 when somebody brought the mask in there, and he got that smell, that sweet smell of sweat and latex mixed with 40-year-old blood. And then of course, in ends, it's Corey. I love that he's killing before he's wearing the mask, but I love that it's when he takes that mask that he really kind of steps up and really tries to become his own version of the shape in a way. He's definitely got his own style though. And then of course, Laurie's ends up with the mask at the very end, and I cannot understate that. In a film that gets so much shit for, oh, there's not enough Michael and Michael's weak and Michael, I mean, the legend of Michael is stronger than ever in Ends. The power of Michael, you say he's weak. Again, maybe the James Jude Courtney physical power that we were so accustomed to seeing so much in kills. Sure, after the Nurse Deb kill, you don't get to see that as much. But man, don't say he's not in the movie or he's not as present or he's not yeah, if you say he's weak, maybe in a sense, but in so many other senses, the shape, the evil that is this entity, is more powerful than ever, and it's right there in the last frame of the movie, which is the mask sitting right there in Laurie's house. And we've already seen Allison leaving, and then of course that song, "Don't Fear the Reaper." All right, let's yeah, and as Andromeda says, Allison is basically dating Michael. Yeah, I mean, in a way, and yeah, it's kind of weird. It's a little incestuous and all, but again, Michael's infatuation with Lori, as it is revealed later, is a little odd. But what is it in the beginning if not a creepy older dude, lusting and stalking a 17-year-old high school girl? That in itself, even before you get to any kind of brother sister uh, weirdness or anything like that. um, you can you know you can see how creepy and disturbing it already is, and that's in its original form, just at its most basic. And that's always been one of the most scary things about Michael. All right, Rob Windsor, what's up, man? $2 in the super chat. I love it, everybody. You know what to do? Raise a toast for our man Rob Windsor. Every penny helps, you guys know, because YouTube does not pay very much. You guys know this, I'm sure, as well as I do. But yeah, so super chats are enabled, memberships are enabled. Again, 25% off all HDM merch. And once you get it, definitely share it on HDM and we will repost. We want to see you guys rocking these shirts as soon as you get them. All right, Rob, thank you. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Subjective Perspective Collective says, sorry guys, watched Ins twice, can't wrap my head around enjoying seeing Michael get dominated by a guy who got beat up by school band kids and Lori kind of silly. Well, that's you're not alone in some of those feelings. Again, though, I just gave my feelings on why I think Michael, yes, in a certain sense, is physically weaker than we've ever seen, but the shape, I'd argue, is more powerful and more present and more dominating than ever in Ends, actually. Um, Let's see. Andromeda says his encounter with Karen brought his human self back to life. That's why he was weak. Well, that's the most Michael's really done without his mask. And again, if the evil is a entity, is a moving thing, I've said here on previous Mondays that maybe it's as simple as the day comes, as the killing, the evil ebbs and flows, and it's got this younger kid, and that's it's ebbing and flowing more towards him as he is enacting it a little bit. Let's see. Teen Wolf, I love that. Toasting, that's right. Toasting to Rob, that's right. Everybody raise it. Um, yeah, it's pretty much Freddy Krueger. Freddy grows stronger the more he's known. Well, I think that's what Danny McBride is talking about in some of those comments. Is that was their intent, was to do something that hadn't been done. Which, okay, we've seen him get shot and run over and whatever, even beheaded, put on fire, and he comes back. He wakes up, he sits up. We have seen those things, and I think that was kind of their intent. Let's see a different kind of version of this. Speaking of ends, though, we have to talk about this now. Normally, I would save this for shout outs at the end of the show, but we're going to talk about it right now because this is got to do with Halloween Ends, and it's got to do with the end of Ends. So, God forbid if you have not seen it, Halloween Ends. I don't think anybody would be watching this if they haven't. But spoiler warning: our buddy Christopher Nelson posted one hell of a Michael Myers Monday post on his Instagram account today. Did you guys see this behind the scenes footage? This is from shooting of that big finale, the end of Ends, Michael's End. This is a fake movie prop, and you can see Christopher clearly uses the Michael Myers Monday hashtag. I love it. Like I said, normally this would be in shout out, so this is technically our first shout out of the night. So shout out to you, Christopher. Thank you for giving us more content to look at and discuss this night, as well as just sharing this awesome look. So I'm going to play this right now. what he says in the description. He says it's a fake movie prop, obviously. That's not James there. But this was the second and final demise of the shape, he says. So they did do this one other time prior. So it sounds like they only did it twice, because this is the final shot, the final dummy produced. And he says that this was a full body replica of the James Jude Courtney. It was filled with gallons of blood bags. Gallons. And of course, it was built by Christopher with Vincent Van Dyke and their team. Christopher adds morbid fun. All right. If you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat. And if you have, we're just going to look at it again because it's fucking gruesome and awesome. And we are on the subject of Halloween Ends tonight. And this is just another behind the scenes look we have never seen yet. So I'm going to shut up and let you just hear the audio here. And we're going to watch this once or twice and then discuss. But here it is. We're going to watch it again. All right, one more time because 3 is a magic number. Yeah, this is pretty amazing. Say what you want. Yeah, there's no way to end Michael Myers that everybody's going to love, but just the way that it falls and they get this final shot of his head almost by accident, it appears, but they couldn't have planned it better if they had tried. I mean, there's right there, but then you'll see, watch his head go flying up almost like. And I remember seeing it in the theater too. Like, holy shit, how did they pull that off? Is that CGI? Just like with Dr. Loomis and Kills, I'm thinking that's got to be some CGI. But look at this, unbelievable. But that lingering shot on Michael's face, on his head, that to be the last thing that goes through. Again, I don't know if they knew that was going to happen and weighted it just right so that it would. If maybe it didn't happen on the first try, but here you go, the last shot of this current incarnation of Michael Myers, and that is literally the last shot, is what they're saying, because as we've documented in many of our interviews with the cast, it was this procession was really the end, the last thing shot. And there it goes. Pretty amazing to see. I mean, again, how do you kill Michael Myers? Well, that's one way. All right. Let's see what you guys think about that gruesomeness. Andromeda says heart-wrenching when we first saw it. Michael even looks cool when he's getting grinded up. Yes, I always say. Hey, we're talking about a fictional serial killer here. I know, but Michael has a certain fucking cool factor. You know, he's got some swagger that. Sorry, Freddy. Freddy's a comedian doing stand up, and Chucky's the heckler in the audience, and Jason is the bouncer in the dark. But Michael's got some swagger, man. He's the guy just rolling through the club, too cool to talk to anybody, but everybody's eyes are on him, right? I've never in my life described him in that way, in that sense, but it actually works. I don't know. Weird things happen when I'm out here with you guys. Yes, Sammy, it was freaking cool. That's just amazing. So again, thank you to Christopher for sharing that with us and letting us all enjoy that this evening, because that was pretty amazing. Teen Wolf didn't buy for a second when David Gordon Green said Michael was gone for good. Oh, Andromeda says, "Thank God they didn't have the crowd cheering as that happened." Yeah, it was morbid, and I think one of you in here were the first ones I heard say it and kind of make the link to how everybody was touching him, almost as if it was like an inverse of touching him and getting the evil. They're like, passing him along, crowd surfing him to his end, and it's almost like a healing thing for them. Whereas, we go back to Halloween 4, and we all felt like Jamie Lloyd going up and touching Michael. It was like the evil, you know, coming out of him into her, and very much in other parts of Ends, it felt like that with Corey. Here, it's like they're sending it back. They're putting that evil back. And just back on the DJ Willie the Kid death, and it's not Michael, of course, it's Corey doing the killing, but Corey does his best, God bless him, to have some Michael sense of humor. Michael's an artist with his how he leaves his victims and all, and Corey has a twisted sense of justice as well by cutting the DJ's tongue off and leaving it spinning on the record. I thought that was pretty fitting and brilliant. Evil never dies. Hell yes. Oh yeah, we all know he'll come back, Brett. Of course, yeah. Ah, subjective wishes Michael would have pulled Laurie in with him. You know, I am surprised they didn't at least shoot that version maybe as an alternate cut. And part of me, I posed the question last year, and and I knew it was a long shot. Of course, it didn't turn out to happen. But as Dave says, you got to shoot your shot sometimes, right? But wouldn't it have been cool? I posed the question when they said they were going to go to streaming, and what if they had a different ending on streaming or something? What if they had that alternate ending where he pulls Laurie in, but both endings had gone out in theaters, and they didn't tell anybody, and it would have just been word of mouth over opening weekend that, oh, I can't believe Laurie survived, and Michael, what do you mean Laurie didn't survive? Michael pulled her. I if there was a missed opportunity, that was it. They could have had the two endings, one where Michael lives, or one where neither lives, one where Laurie lives. When I talked about this last year, the idea was one where Michael wins, one where Laurie wins. Now it would be as simple as you're saying. One where Michael pulls her in, the one that we saw. Um, but they didn't go that way. Obviously, Laurie gets her happy ending, and it is what it is. But how happy is it truly? That's another question. Michael's mask probably did still have Karen's blood on it. Yeah. Yeah. Andromeda says they could always make it that Laurie's completely crazy and in a mental institution, and killing him was just a delusion of hers. They could make all of Halloween it's a dream if they really wanted to undo it. they can make all of the last three movies a dream. Really, maybe that's the next way in. Surprise! Everything is a dream. Of course, then we probably have to recast Laurie because I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis is going to play this character again, unless David Gordon Green comes back with an idea. I think she would for him. And Danny did just say never say never. But in any case, speaking of Jamie Lee Curtis and Laurie Strode, just real quick, did you guys see? Because we talked about this quite a bit when she did make that announcement a little over a month ago that she was going to, for the first time, sell official Laurie Strode photographs, a photo taken by Ryan Green, set photographer for the last two films, of her in character as Laurie Strode, that she was going to autograph. And they're going to sell them to benefit her charity organization, My Hand in Yours, which raises money for the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. And they went on sale on March 1st and throughout the month of March. I think they were $150 and then they went up to $200 on April 1st. And we talked about this a month ago and we said that, man, I think she's going to sell so many autographs and make so much money for her charity. She's going to realize that, yeah, this is the way to go, to keep crossing over, bringing her Laurie Strode Halloween fandom and probably other genre work too into her charity efforts. And well, she just posted this message just yesterday. Actually, not yesterday. She posted it just a few days ago on Instagram. She posted this on April 1st, actually. She says, quote, "I'm very proud of the fans of the genre. They gave me my life, and because of their ability to suit up and show up in support of Children's LA and make March matter. Yesterday, March 31st, we raised $15,000 to finish out the month of community support and corporate support and individual support for the institution that will care for your children in the City of Angels, regardless of their family's ability to pay." So she goes on to praise the fans once again for coming out and supporting this. And if you'll remember, she did. They were like overwhelmed on day one, on March 1, because all of you guys went on there and bought your autographs, and I can't wait to see them when they arrive. But she says that they actually sold out of what they thought was going to be their whole shipment in the first hour, and had to get a shit ton more prints, and she had to sit and spend some time signing those autographs. Now she mentions $15,000. I assume that means that's what they raised in one day on March 31st, on the final day of March of the first drive. So if that was the last day, man, multiply that by 30, and you might have something around what these autographs actually raised. I'm thinking I'd love to know the final figure, or am I reading that wrong? And she means to say that it was $15K for the whole month. I gotta think it was probably a lot more than that, though. Now, on Halloween 45 Years of Terror, on this week's check-in and countdown, this is the first Monday in April, so we are getting closer. As we've said, no guests have been officially announced yet. But you can sign up for updates sent directly to your inbox at the official website, which is Halloween45.com. And we've talked about some of the special guests that have been confirmed unofficially by what they have said online on various venues. And we talked about that a little bit last week. The show hours, I don't know if we talked about that before. That is posted on here Saturday. It's going to begin at 11 a.m. and go till 7 p.m. That's Saturday, September 30th. Of course, September 29th is the Horrors Hallowed Grounds filming locations tour. led by Sean Clark, and that is a bus tour event that happens on Friday, and then the convention itself is Saturday and Sunday. You can see here that show hours, are listed for Saturday 11 to 7 p.m., Sunday 11 to 5 p.m. And the tour will begin on Friday, September 29th, 1 hour earlier at 10 a.m. And while ticket information is not up yet, they have added that you can plan on children age 12 and under will get in for free. Because we got to start them young and teach them the magic of Michael Myers. All right, so I want to hear from you guys on 45 Years of Terror. If you watched the interview, you heard Dag confirm that he is locked in. He's going to be there. He also told us that he's going to talk to Sean and try to reach out to Tech 9 and try to put together some kind of performance there during the event. If you remember 5 years ago, there was the Alan Howarth concert at the VIP party on, I believe it was Saturday night, which was great. So something like that might be in the works. That was a bit of breaking news in our interview if you watched that. We talked about last week that Brad Laree recently told the Halloween Lives podcast that he too is locked in and will be there. And on their Sean and Christopher's podcast, The Thing with Two Heads, Christopher Nelson and Sean also let it be known that Christopher will be there as well. So that is, in essence, technically the first three Michael Myers actors, because Christopher does technically appear as Michael Myers in 2018. That's his fingers that get blown off in the door there. So that is technically our first three guests. Now, what I want to know tonight is, who are you most anticipating being announced? You're most hopeful. And this could be somebody that you just love and maybe they were there before and you just want to see them again, or maybe it's a brand new guest like Rowan Campbell or somebody like that. I'd love to hear. Now, maybe we'll exclude Jamie Lee Curtis because I know a lot of you are going to say Jamie Lee Curtis. All right, we know she's a long shot. It might happen. Jamie Lee aside, who is your most hoped for, most anticipated, most like, yes, that's who I'm going to talk to first. As soon as I get there, Saturday morning, making a beeline for this person, assuming they're announced. Not Jamie Lee Curtis, because for now, we're just going to not include her until or unless we get an announcement like that. Let's see here. Who has checked in? Teen Wolf is hoping John Carpenter shows up. Yes. Now, that wouldn't be as out of the question as I would think it might be a few years ago. I think that could be possible. Lurch wants John Carpenter as well. Let's start that petition. Because honestly, I told you guys, with Jamie Lee Curtis, while it would be amazing to meet her and everything, me personally, like, if she's there, I don't know. I don't, but John Carpenter, I mean, that is like, I would stand in line for him. You know what I mean? So I think that's a good one. All right, pause, everybody, because we have a toast for the great ProtectSafes.com, another one of our loyal friends and viewers who checks in regularly here on Michael Myers Monday Live with us, has just donated a whopping $10 super chat. So thank you so much, ProtectSafes.com. Love it. And would love to see Nick Castle. Okay, that's who you're making the beeline for first. I hear you. Hell yeah. Aha, I see Sean has checked in. I'm just now seeing that. Excellent. There's some breaking news for you guys. Guess we'll start launching this week. So there's your answer. Thank you, Sean, for chiming in and clarifying that. Now, we had said that it would probably be April because that's what Sean said on the most recent episode of my favorite video podcast, The Thing with Two Heads. And so there you go, guys. This week, guess we'll start launching. So, again, who are you most anticipating? I'm seeing John Carpenter. I've seen Nick Castle. Sammy also says Castle. Let's see here. Drecklock is heading for Daniel Farrens. Loving some H6. I love it. Daniel is an awesome dude. I interviewed him a few years ago. Very cool, very nice. Awesome pick. Mike Johnston would love to hear that Andy, Judy Greer, and Rowan are there. And I guess they would be who you're making the beeline for. I don't know. Judy Greer would be pretty huge, and she's always so busy. But Rowan and Andy would be amazing for sure. I think they might be the ones. I mean, only because it's they're so current and they've never done a convention before. If those two were announced, I would personally be very excited to connect with them. Let's see who else is in here. Protect Saves. Missed you too, man. Welcome. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thank you so much for that super chat. John Michael Graham. Patrick Ring says John Michael Graham. He does not do very many conventions these days. I do anticipate he'll probably be one of the guests. Awesome pick. Of course, Bob. You guys know that. Let's see. Who else are you guys saying? Rob says Carpenter and James Jude Courtney. And, of course, Jamie Lee. I think everybody, it goes without saying Jamie Lee if at all possible. But Brett says any first-timers that haven't done a convention. That's what I'm saying. Sammy says the original Michael. Awesome. Teen Wolf definitely wants to meet Brad. His mic got me into the franchise, and Resurrection is a secret enjoyment for me, so meeting the guy that started it for me would be insane. Hell yes. And yeah, he did tell our friends over at the Halloween Lives podcast that he'll be there as well, so shouldn't come as a surprise, but yeah, and he's a really nice guy. We've talked to him and been around him a couple times. I did interview him 5 years ago at 40 Years of Terror. You can check out that interview in the interview section of Halloween Daily News. And yeah, Resurrection did pave the way. It did open it up for an entire audience, as many of these generations, different eras of films have. And everybody's got their own entry point into this franchise, just like everybody's got their own entry point into the Star Wars franchise or any major franchise. And Resurrection is that for a lot of people. And I always give Resurrection its credit because, the idea of what they're doing, the streaming, it is ahead of its time, and it would be right at home in today's world where everything is being streamed live, basically. Hello, we're live right now. But a lot of elements of that were ahead of its time for sure. Let's see. Drecklock says, do you think there will be more vendors than H40? Do you think H45 will be about the same size as H40? Well, Sean, if he's still lurking in here, he's listening. He might chime in and correct me, but I would guess more. I would guess more of everything. I would guess this one is going to be bigger and have more vendors and more guests than 5 years ago. But that's just my educated guess. Again, if Sean's in here, he might chime in and correct me or let us know differently. But that's what I'm thinking. Sammy says, only problem is I can't be there. Money issues living in Washington State. I hear you, man. Yeah, money issues out here on the outer rim of North Carolina. Money issues everywhere, I think. I hear you. Protect Safe says, LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes, his most anticipated guests. Let's make it happen. Now, there's the collab. We'll have Dag out there. We can bring Tech 9 in, but let's have the Halloween alums. Busta, LL Cool J, and Dag up there. There you go. Triple threat. There's the VIP concert, Sean. Surprise appearance by Busta and LL Cool J. That would be the shit, actually, man. Could you imagine? I mean, seriously, could you imagine? I like it. Shaping up to be more of everything. Excellent. Let's see. Mike says, I know there are fans that thought Karen was annoying, but I thought Judy Greer did a great job. Karen was a hero in my eyes. She protected her daughter in 2018 and saved her life in Kills. Yeah, I mean, Karen, I've said many times that with the 2018 film, I never, like, Karen did not affect me in any way until that gotcha moment. And then all of a sudden, she becomes one of the most interesting characters, not just in that film, but in the whole franchise to me. And then her whole trajectory in Kills and everything that she goes through in that, and that she tries to do, and her whole interaction with unmasked Michael and taking that mask and running with it. I love all that stuff. Yeah, I agree. Karen's definitely a hero character. And speaking of which, of hero characters, we're going to do our poll results here in just a second. There's your answer, guys. Sean says it is shaping up to be more of everything. So, you wanted more vendors? There you go. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Can't wait to see that first batch of guests start rolling out, guys. Again, they're going to go up at HALOWEEN40.com. That's the official website. Or you can just keep watching us here on HGN because we're going to let you know as soon as we learn anything. Real quick, while we're talking about 40 years of terror and 45 years of terror and the 4.5 decades of this franchise, I just quickly want to play a brief few seconds of a flashback clip. I was thinking, because last week we looked at some of those photos from our archives from back 2015, actually, from Flashback Weekend, and we might take a look at a few of those in a minute, but I want to play just this quick little clip because I was thinking, I interviewed Dag, and it was a big deal for me because he was one of the Michael Myers actors that I hadn't interviewed yet, and I've been fortunate to interview most of them, but unfortunately one of the ones that I never got a chance to, and now unfortunately I won't get a chance to, is the great George Wilbur. Of course, he passed fairly recently, and we talked about that here and paid some tribute, but here is just a small clip, and unfortunately it's all I've got of George because I didn't get to interview him on the record, and at this particular Q&A, which was a Halloween 4, 5, and 6 Q&A at Flashback Weekend in Chicago back in 2015. And the question on the floor is, you'll see George is here with Don Shanks, and the question was asked of them, what is your favorite kill? And Don explained that his favorite kill is the Dr. Death kill in the opening that was deleted from the theatrical cut, but now you can find on that new Blu-ray. But here is George's answer. This is the one clip I've got to give us another glimpse into both the HDN archives and also the grand history of this franchise. And this is George's brief, but I think very poignant response, very George response. Here you go.
Yes, he does.
Your favorite kill?
What's your favorite kill?
Yeah, you want?
Oh, come on, my favorite kill. My favorite kill was always involved with pretty blonde girls, either stick with a knife or with a shotgun, whatever. They were my favorites. I always worked with the pretty girls.
And little girls, we like to kill them.
What
are you doing later?
When you're a little girl, don't grow up, honey. You don't want it.
I think
we don't hurt kittens. We don't hurt kittens.
We don't hurt kids, Don Shake says. All right. So that was the great George Wilbur. And yeah, I was racking my brain because I was like, did we have more from another Q&A that he was present at? And I don't think we do. I was looking through our archives. So that's what we've got. But what we do have that might be fun for just a minute. And again, these are, a few of these have been published, and a few we're going to look at are from our archives that have actually never been seen before outside of HDN headquarters. But this first photo was published in our 2015 Flashback Weekend Chicago gallery, and it's one of my favorites, and we shared it again when we heard that George had passed. But this is the great George Wilbur with his Halloween 4 co-star Eric Preston, who played young Michael Myers in a very brief, quick scene in the mask store that Jamie sees him in the mirror real quick. There's the two Michael Myers from Halloween 4. Of course, Tom Morga also included in that group from H4, but not in this photo. Now, I did say that we'd look at just maybe a couple others from that event, and here's that that same Q&A event. Well, I say that, but it's not coming up. Yeah, well, might have to wait on that for a minute. All right, well, we're going to move on from that one because this one, the Michael Myers Monday crowd would appreciate too. One of you suggested last week that we need to get Dag and Will together, the two young Michael Myers, and I agree. We will absolutely have to do that at 45 Years of Terror. But this, again, going back to 2015 in Chicago, that's Will on the right with, again, our friend Eric Preston from H4. Another set of young Michael Myers performers. Capturing those magic moments that we like to do, that we try to do. And let's see, we looked at a few of these last week, so I don't want to be too redundant on that. But while we're in here of these circa 2015 photos, because like I said, there's a ton that were published in our original article, in our original gallery, that I know a lot of you guys haven't even seen. There's a familiar face that you might recognize, other than my own. And there's my lovely wife, Sue, with the great Charles Cyphers. And myself, of course. Tommy Lee Wallace, rocking his Season of the Witch hat. And we showed some of those fun photos of Christina and Scout playing around with Nick last week. Here's myself with Christina and the young Michaels, and then the H3 crowd there. Now let me see. I think there was another one that I know you guys would appreciate more than the average. Well, they're also so fun. And again, apologies for people that have seen this, but I know we've always got certain viewers that maybe haven't been following us quite as long. There's Dick Warlock, Tom Atkins sharing a laugh. Okay, these were those other some more shots from that Q&A, some of which have never been published, straight from the HDN archives that you're seeing first here on the Michael Myers Monday crowd. Now, I would go in and probably desaturate this one and a few of these a bit today if I was reprocessing them, but For you guys, you get some of this stuff in all its grainy glory, no matter what. So there's George talking on stage with Don Shanks. Wide shot. That's Alan Howarth all the way on the left. Again, Eric Preston going left, Tamara Glenn, George with the mic, and Don Shanks all the way on the right. Great shot of George there. I love that one. Talk about a generation's Michael Myers. These guys, opened it up for a whole generation of their own. And there's another one. And again, some of these are a little more out of focus than I would like for publication, but that's why you guys here on Michael Myers Monday are seeing them for the first time. Legends. All of them legends. Just a taste of the kind of fun that gonna have at this year's event, 45 Years of Terror as well. All right. Damn, I say every week we are not going to be on here for very long, and yet every week, despite there being no news, almost no news, almost, it's still about to be midnight. Wow. Insane. All right. Well, that is this week's flashback feature. And yeah, we're going to do that. Maybe not every week, but we're going to do it on weeks when we don't have a ton of news. And digging out some stuff from our archives. Sometimes stuff that, again, has never been seen before at HalloweenDailyNews.com or here on our YouTube channel. So you guys are seeing some of this first. Rob says, badass flashback down memory lane. Thank you. David likes it. Phil likes it. Andromeda, I really want to meet Lonnie and Little John from Kills. Yes, hell yes. Mike Johnson says, great picture with you and your wife and Charles Cyphers. Awesome. Yes, we love those pictures. Cherish them. It was great. Andromeda says, Will was so adorable as Michael. Hell yes. Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Andromeda, Marianne Hagan. Yes, I remember she was announced for 2018, and I think, if I remember right, Sean will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she had to cancel at the last minute or something 5 years ago. So Dreeklock says, I talked to Devin Gardner, who plays Danny in H6 at last year's On-Set Cinema in Salt Lake City, and he said he hadn't been invited to H45. Sean, can you invite him? I think last year might have been a little bit too early for the invites to have already gone out. Let's see. Brett says, let's go with a long shot and have a Coupe de Ville's reunion concert. That would be pretty epic. If ever there was a time, I mean, because Carpenter presumably isn't going to be out on tour or busy shooting anything this time, so it's just a matter of if he wanted to do it, I would imagine. I would think Nick and Tommy would probably be all for it. Even just one song. Could you imagine, guys? Wouldn't that be great? Let's see. Diana has checked in. Will Rob Zombie and his wife Sherry Moon be coming to Bourbon Street on Bell Boulevard in Bayside, Queens, New York anytime soon? That's awfully specific. I can't say that they'll be there unless that's a regular haunt of theirs. I don't know about you guys, but man, meeting either one of those at one of these conventions would be pretty amazing if you ask me. Um, I know that's a long shot, but if we're talking Coupe de Ville's reunion performance, if we're talking LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes, hey, why not? Let's go for it. Right, Sean? Shoot for the moon, right? Anything's possible. Right, guys? All right. Let's go over to this week's poll results real quick. It is officially after midnight here on the East Coast. I don't know how we got here, but here are this week's poll results. Last week's poll results. Last week we asked who. Let's start over. Last week we asked who is your favorite Halloween franchise hero character, and your options were, of course, you're always urged to write in any options that aren't here, and we did get write-ins, but they were both for Loomis. Your options were Karen Allison, Rachel, Laurie Strode, and Dr. Loomis, and as you can see here, after 163 votes, Karen, despite our discussion here being a true hero of these most recent 3 films, she comes in last place with no votes. Allison is in 4th place with just 3% of the votes. Rachel from H4 is in a distant 3rd place with just 6% of the vote. And not too surprising, the top 2 are Laurie Strode with 26% of the vote, and the winner, by and large, with a massive 65% of the vote, is, of course, Dr. Samuel Loomis as the greatest hero in this franchise. I've got to agree. I've talked about it before. Laurie, I love this most recent version of Laurie. It's kind of my favorite version of Laurie over the different eras. I loved the H2O version. I love this most recent version. And I said last week, I hope that the next iteration of this franchise really is about Loomis and about elevating that character to the iconic hero status that we all know he's already at, and I think most of genre fans know he's already at, but man, let's see that on full display and see him elevated into pop culture in a similar way that the Laurie Strode character was with these most recent 3 films. All right, now we're going to launch this week's poll question, and we've already got just a few votes because it is already live about 30 minutes ago. We are asking for this week's poll question. We want to know, what is your favorite weapon that Michael Myers has used on screen or off screen, but that he's used? As always, I can only put 5 up as official options because that's what YouTube allows. So if it's not there, then you can write in your answer. So the options we have are his traditional kitchen knife, hammer, used a couple times throughout the series, pitchfork, axe, his foot. That's your 5 options. Now, we've only gotten a few votes, but as you can see here, his foot has 25% of the votes, and Kitchen Knife is currently winning at the launch with 75% of the votes. And speaking of Eric Preston, this might be a different Eric Preston, but he says his vote goes to the giant surgical blade Michael uses to kill the cultists in Curse of Michael Myers. That's a pretty good choice, I gotta say. That is a good one. All right. Have fun with this one. We will go over the results during next week's Triple M live show. Andromeda says, used to get on my nerves, but loves Karen now. See her as Michael's little angel. That's great. The Fireman Kills is your favorite weapon. Yes. Yes. Teen Wolf says, Michael's surgical machete later jumped 300 years into the future where Jason used it. Yes. Mike says, man, Karen got dissed. Yeah, I thought she would get some votes. I was surprised. And Rachel's so popular to an entire generation. I was surprised she didn't get more. Maybe if I had put Jamie Lloyd instead, but I mean, at the end of H4, Jamie Lloyd kind of, she kind of goes bad, we think anyway. I mean, she does go bad at the end of the movie. But yeah, these polls have been fun because you guys do surprise me. And I was surprised to see Corey's Scarecrow mask as everybody's favorite mask in the franchise other than Michael's quote-unquote main mask. Yes, Rob, the halogen bar, best weapon he killed with. That's what Andromeda's talking about, the halogen bar in Kills. It's pretty hard to beat that. That scene is so fucking awesome. Yes. Damn right. Yeah, Mike, I don't know why Karen didn't get it. I thought she would have gotten some votes. And I agree, Andromeda. Karen is a character that I've said it before. The first time I watched 2018, and even when I watch it now, like seeing the character through the film, there's not much about her that I even really care about until that ending. And then all of a sudden she becomes so much more interesting to me. And then seeing Kills, it's so much more. And you remember when I interviewed Paul, he said that in his mind, 2018 was Laurie's movie, Kills was Karen's, and Ends is very much Allison's. And you could also look at it that way. Because it does kind of play out that way. Teen Wolf says, everyone's missing out on the best weapon ever, the electrical outlet in H6. Yes, I almost put that one as an option. I was like, it was between the axe, because I was thinking about H6, but he's also used the axe in other scenes. And I don't even know if I worded the thing correctly, because it should be any weapon that he's used, because he uses the axe again in that dream sequence in Rob Zombie's H2. Even though he doesn't actually kill anybody with it in that moment, but using the weapon nonetheless. And that's why I said, he's used some of these weapons other times, hammers a couple times. But the halogen, yeah, that's only been once. And that H6, I did think about saying the electrical outlet, because that is, I think, a lot of people's favorite, and absolutely one of the best in just off the wall, but cheered for. Yeah, she was being mean to Lori at first. Karen was. Yeah. I mean, they all were at the beginning of 2018 until Michael came back and she was right about everything. And then they realized, oh, yeah, she wasn't crazy. Which was just like Loomis. You know, he said he's coming. He's pure evil. He's going to kill you all. Death's come to your little town, Sheriff. Nobody believed him until they did. The shotgun in H4 isn't bad either, Andromeda. That's good. That's great. That is a good one. Michael use entire transformer to just cook a guy alive, and heel turns right out of there like a boss. Yeah, it is one of the best. Absolutely. That was great. All right. Almost gonna wrap it up here. Again, our first shout out technically goes to Christopher for that amazing behind the scenes video of the final demise of the shape. But nonetheless, we are going to do a couple other shout outs. This is what we like to do each week because Michael Myers Monday, we started this hashtag way back in 2013 on all the different socials. And over the years, it's just taken on a life of its own. Everybody does their own thing with it. And most people don't even know that we started it, but we try to find a couple cool ones, pick out just a few random ones each week, and give these people a shout out during Michael Myers Monday Live. So we're going to start off over here on Twitter. We're just doing a few this evening. And but I had to use this one because this guy gave us our thumbnail this week. This is Shane Saw Massacre at Final Dude 78 on Twitter. He says, hope the boogeyman didn't creep up on you this Michael Myers Monday. And like I said, people make Michael Myers Monday what they need it to be. Sometimes Monday is like Michael, creeping up on you, crashing, killing your weekend. Other times, people see it as a motivational thing where they are attacking Monday and attacking their work week, kind of like Michael attacking. So it works both ways. Another fun one here, not Monday specific, but this comes from at Purgatory Horror. Good afternoon, happy Michael Myers Monday, they say. I hope you all have an excellent week. Be proud of yourselves that you made it this far. Keep going, guys. Hell yeah, like Dave says, don't stop, right? And I shared this one because I think it just pretty much sums most of us up pretty well. Just sitting here waiting on Halloween at this point, right? All right, we're going to move over to Instagram now. This one comes to us from Heather Reads Horror on Instagram. She says, just another Myers Monday. And then ask if we sung it that way, like the Manic Monday song. I know a generation of you guys have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but love that she's rocking her John Carpenter's Halloween t-shirt. Another one from Instagram today. Look at this cosplay. This is at Chris_78 on Instagram. He quotes Laurie Strode. He says, Michael Myers was pure evil. He took our dreams and turned them into nightmares. Great quote right there. We were talking about quotes at the top of the show. Before I even came on, you guys were talking about quotes, and here we're at the end of the show. We're back to another great quote. Hell yes. There you go. That's keeping the theme going. That's tying everything together. And that is some badass fucking accurate cosplay. Good job, Chris. Another one from Instagram this week, all the way from Germany. Apparently, this is the German Michael Myers on Instagram. They are paying tribute to the classic Bob scene, and I love it. And one more this week from our buddy Dig. Check out that interview if you haven't already. Dig wishing us all a happy Michael Myers Monday. Go follow him on his new Instagram account. It's at Great Dig Official. Once he hits 2K followers, he's going to drop some new music. And this is what he shared.
Music dropping at 2,000 followers on my new Instagram at Great Dig Official. Happy Michael Myers Monday with a twist lol.
Happy Michael Myers Monday. Awesome. Again, my exclusive new interview with Dave is up right now elsewhere on this channel. I did think to put the link down in the description of this video before we got going tonight. So if you haven't watched it yet, please check that out. You're going to enjoy it. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy it. Outside of this franchise, I want to tell you, look for my next exclusive interview. It's dropping tomorrow morning right here on the HDN YouTube channel. This is an interview with director Kira Gardner. She directed the new Child's Play franchise documentary called Living with Chucky. It is going to be released on Screenbox and on various VOD outlets, also starting tomorrow. And Kira is the daughter of makeup effects designer Tony Gardner, who you may or may not recognize his name, but you've definitely seen his work in many of our favorite iconic films over the decades, including the original Hocus Pocus, as well as last year's Hocus Pocus 2, and Zombieland, and just tons of other cool stuff, including all of the Child's Play and Chucky films, starting with Seed, and including the current TV show. Kira also breaks a tiny bit of news in there that filming for the TV show is going to begin in just about a week from now. So, for season 3 of the TV show. And we talk about her documentary and, of course, about Halloween itself and what Halloween was like at Tony Gardner's house growing up. And she's got some great stories about it because, yes, as you can imagine, being a horror guy, a special effects guy, they go all out, and she's got some really cool memories growing up, the daughter of Tony Gardner. Not just around Chucky all the time, which she was, and considers Chucky like part of the family, a sibling to her, but many other films and monsters and various props that she would find at home, not just on Halloween, but throughout the year, which is very much in line with our philosophy of living the Halloween daily lifestyle all the time. So I encourage you to check that one out tomorrow. Channel members now can already check out a special preview clip from that interview. If you're a member of the channel, you can watch that right now. The full interview will be available to everyone tomorrow morning right here on the HDN YouTube channel. And it'll be up at HalloweenDailyNews.com as well tomorrow. So I urge you to check that one out. And we got a lot of other cool stuff coming your way this week here on the HDN YouTube channel. You're not going to want to miss it. If you haven't subscribed yet, you might want to do that if you enjoyed what you saw here tonight. And if you've been here from the beginning, that means it's been almost 2 hours, which means you kind of didn't hate it, so you might as well subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notifications. If you are subscribed, give us a like. That helps out with YouTube algorithms. Give us a comment down below. That helps out too. Hit the share button. Let all your friends and like-minded individuals know about us. And if you don't have like-minded people in your friend group, that's all right, because you got us and we got you, and I don't either. That's why I'm here all the time with you guys, because you guys are the like-minded people in my life. So, yeah, I'd rather hang out with you guys than my neighbors. All right. Make sure you participate in this week's poll. We'll discuss the results next week. And use the hashtag Michael Myers Monday. Be sure to tag us in all your stuff. And if you do order any of our merch now through April 17th, use that promo code friends and fans 25. It's friends and then the and symbol fans 25. You'll get 25% off anything in our Teespring merch store, including some diecast stickers, as well as new t-shirts, as well as all of our classic t-shirts, the shirts you see me wearing here. Not this one. This one I wore because it's purple and orange and looked a little bit like Easter colors, and I just figured, maybe it kind of fit because it is Easter week. So in any case, use that discount code to purchase some HDN merch and help us out and show the world your love of Halloween every single day. And if you've got a good idea for a future HDN shirt or some text we could put on it, it'll speak directly to you guys, to the Triple M crowd. Let me hear from you as well. All right. Thank you, Mike. Looking forward to checking it out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Sartain's death is the only murder Dr. Loomis would approve of. Says Andromeda, I love it. Hell yes. That's true. Andromeda, is it your birthday? Happy birthday then. Awesome. It's on halfway to Halloween. Excellent. Okay. Well, happy early birthday. Happy birthday month then. Yes, it's a pagan holiday. Hell yes. Damn right. And your grandmother's birthday is on Halloween. Hell, that is awesome. Hell yeah. That is great. Mike, thank you. Teen Wolf, thank you as always. All right, guys. This has been fun. You guys are awesome. Look for those guest announcements. Again, breaking news right here in our live chat tonight. Guest announcements for 45 Years of Terror are going to start rolling out this week. So that could be tomorrow or the next day. But it's coming out this week. So we're going to be looking forward to that. You're going to be looking forward to that. Plan on joining us next Monday. We'll do it again. Recap all the week's news and hang out and have some discussion. Thanks again to you guys for the super chats. That means a lot. Thanks for the channel memberships. Thanks for your fellowship, your support, your subscriptions. All of that helps. We love it. And look for my interview with Kira dropping tomorrow morning. Until then, I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you all for watching, for hanging out, for commenting, for discussing. You guys rock. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, everybody.